Hey everybody, how's it going? Captain Foley here. Exciting news, busy day today. Lots going on. Samuel is going to be here any minute. He was a little bit late from his meeting. Well, his flight is having issues. CBS actually flew him back. He's in. He just arrived. He's going to be at the computer momentarily, but the private jet from CBS. Came in a little bit late. He did have a good meal, though. He sent me a nice picture of his meal. Unfortunately, I had stuff to do here and just finishing up some business things. So you guys will be able to enjoy what we're doing here. So yeah, hopefully he'll be here in a second. But welcome back, guys. Good to see you. And hopefully you guys have had a very great day. No, he's not cloaked, is he? He's just not here yet. He'll be here in a minute. We have some very exciting things to tell you guys. A whole list of exciting things of what we have planned, and we're just super excited. This has been a long time in the making, so just really hoping that you guys are on board with everything, and hopefully you guys will have some suggestions for us as well to help us come up with, ideas to improve the franchise going forward. So like I said, I'll wait till he gets here, but in the meantime, guys, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell icon to all. And yeah, now that Trekyards is the official voice of CBS and Star Trek. Listen, Jericho, what are your plans for Star Trek? Well, I'm gonna wait till Samuel gets here to fill you in on those. Like I said, we have a list of things we have in motion. Some approved, some in pre-approval stages, some just ideas at this point. But we will be discussing those because we do have a lot of stuff that we'd really like to get in on. So, and there he is. See, awesome. See, he's back. Good. Yeah. Well, you look all flustered. Glad you got in on time.
Not flustered, but you know those deadlines that we have on lives? It's like you tell the pilot, right? 10, and they say yes sir, and you hope they really mean it. 05. It's not too bad. I think he did a good job. I mean, he was being paid by CBS the big bucks, so you'd expect it. But
that being said, it was probably a better flight than the standard flights that we're used to. So
it was nice. Yeah, it was roomy. Like in the context of a small plane, more room. Like I had my legs out for 2 hours, which was good. Movies were the same. They don't splurge on that. And the food. I remember sending pictures of the food. It was nice.
Yeah.
It's like so it was 3 course, but they have less food per course, so you enjoy the courses. So I say 3 courses. For us, it'd be like going out for one. Like that time, the steak and chips like that, but 3-course meal. Delicious, yes, but 3-course. But yeah, no, I come bearing my notes. And guys, do we look any different? That's a question that we have as well. Have you noticed anything different? But yeah, no, I on the old internets here.
Well, nobody said anything. Just that you were cloaked for a while.
Oh god, that would have been fun to fly in a bird of prey, but they didn't quite offer that bundle yet.
Well, that's something we can plan for years down the road. We'll make a real one. Well, we got 2 super chats to start, which is awesome. Squadron.
Well, we need them after how much we've spent, Stuart.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
See, the super chats you guys have been. That's why we're like, get a little bit more of this. We've been saving up for this, and 7 months in the planning stages to get everything approved and set up. So, anyway, here we are. Squadron course, $2. Hi Samuel, just sent you 5 more changes. Winky face.
That's my response to that.
Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, €2.
Good to see.
Nice to see new management at Viacom CBS.
Yeah.
You're gonna be excited for the things we have lined up for you guys. So,
I mean, we haven't exactly cleaned house, but we're there now. That's important,
Squadron course, $2. April Fools, of course. Oh yeah, today is the April 1st.
Oh, we
completely forgot about that,
didn't we? Okay, well, there's not an April Fool's joke, so we certainly timed it bad.
Wow.
I mean, you can tell by the suit. Well, look, we didn't. Like I said, 7 years in the planning. I mean, it falls on the day it falls.
Well, 7 months. I meant 7 months.
Oh.
7 months to get all the approvals through and all the, you know. We didn't want to tell anybody or tip our hands. So.
I mean, it was mostly ready yesterday, but those last bits. But just to let you guys know.
That's why we couldn't do a live yesterday, because you were in LA and we needed to get you back. So. Yeah.
But guys, if you have noticed, because obviously we now own one of the largest companies in the world, they obviously upgraded my video equipment. So as you can see, in a shiny new camera, new lights. See, look, blue light. I mean, can you not see the difference? And obviously, I've come for the meeting, so I'm still. I don't know about you, but whenever I used to see you, I travelled in something similar, not the tie, but like a sort of suit jacket helps you through customs, and I kept on until I saw you. So like, I was in suit the entire flight home because I'm not gonna get. You know.
Well, if you're on a private plane, I would do the same thing. Feel all fancy the whole way, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, do you guys like it? It's not something I can do normally, but hopefully you guys like the bonus video quality. It looks extra good.
And guys, hit that like button. We have 80 likes already, which is a fantastic way to start with only 6 minutes in. 105 people here. Again, amazing. Samuel, would you like to share it to maybe get more than 104 people here? Just in case? Sorry, I looked at my notes. I know you're kind of flustered and just got in. But...
Well, I've got a lot on my mind and I had a lot of time to dwell on it. But yeah, sure, I can do the... I come from talking to Paramount executives and now I'm here sharing on Facebook. I mean, hey, you know what? We got to keep grounded. You know?
Well, our assistants aren't coming right now. We'll get those
Tuesday.
Eventually. Tuesday, yes. There's the joke. There it is.
Oh, we are serious though. Next Tuesday.
Yeoman's for the win. All right, go share, and
Okay.
I'll keep these guys entertained until then.
Okay.
So, yeah, guys. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna talk about all of our plans for all the stuff that we have on the horizon for new Trek, and just our ideas for making Trek better, things you guys have wanted to see for a long time. We are super excited to be able to do this for you guys. So Tom Casey throws in $2 just because. Well, thank you very much. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. 10 forward is the title of my sex tape. Hashtag sue me. Okay. We're not going to be suing people for things like that, just so you're aware. That's one of the first things that we're going to talk to you guys about. Squadra Course, $2. What did you end up paying for all of Trek? Well, we can't really disclose that at this time. Like we said, there was a lot of approval processes and stuff. So there was some loans and some, different things we had to go through to get it all figured out. But we can't really divulge all that right now. I'm sure that'll come out by the end of the year, probably, all the financials and all the little things you guys want to know, the facts surrounding it. So a few dollars, yeah. Listen, Jericho, absolutely. So yeah, guys, that's 93 likes. That's 7 away from 100. Let's get 7 more likes. Let's get 100 likes, guys. Also, don't forget, if you want a super chat, it would really help us out, considering that we just spent all of our money doing this, but it's worth it. So if you can super chat, that'd be awesome. Put in your thoughts, your ideas, anything you'd like to see from the new Trek that we could be making. We'd really appreciate that, because the input is important. So super chat anything, any ideas you want, to make sure that we get read and all that jazz. You know the routine. Plus PayPal is another way as well. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent to PayPal, and we'll read your comment or question via the email from PayPal. Also, other great ways to support the channel, clicking that join button. You can join the channel. It's like a monthly way to help us out, or head over to Patreon/Trekyards, which is another monthly service that helps us out as well. But yeah. Oh well, we'll get to these. We'll get to these super chats in a minute when Samuel gets back, guys. But we really appreciate. You cast me. Oh, we'll get there. I'll read those in a minute. As soon as Samuel gets back, we'll read those. But yeah, guys, and don't forget, there's bonus links and stuff in the description down there for discounts and things like that. We're going to be adding a lot more over the next couple weeks as we get approvals for these kind of things. Maybe get you a way better discount than last and things like that. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, like I said, let us know your ideas, your thoughts, anything we talk about. Our ideas, anything you would expand on, just put it in the regular chat or super chat. It would be greatly appreciated. So, but yeah, we are super excited. I've got like champagne champagne, got bubbly, ready to go for the woohoo. Like this is something that's been, like I said, 7 months in the making, as far as from initial idea to all the approvals to getting everything finished and finalized. 7 months, and here we are. So I got the champagne ready to go. Maybe pop it later.
I have a cider, but I mean, it's what I had in the fridge because I was just on a plane.
Oh, you should have taken the bottle of Dom Perignon they had and brought it with you.
Get any. I think they did the food budget. I don't know. Don't ask me. It wasn't my flight. I mean, I guess it is my flight now. I guess technically. Although I don't think I'm going to exactly. I'm not going to micromanage the flight part of the company. Like seriously.
No, that's not your job.
Yeah, we didn't buy it for that shit. We bought it for Star Trek. Although young Sheldon. Let's commission some more seasons. It's good stuff. Sorry. There's a lot to talk about in the future, as obviously. Sorry, yes, hello.
We've got a bunch of super chats.
Excellent.
Tom Casey, just because the Prosper, thank you. Sean O'Sullivan, €2, 10 forward is the title of my sex tape. # sue me. Well, there will be no suing going on. That's one of the first things that we're going to encourage filmmakers and things. Sex tape, we'll see. You have to approve it first.
Well, it has to go for the sex tape guidelines. No more than 15 minutes. You can't raise more than $50,000.
No. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's my part. Actually, he's a fan film guy, so.
What are you on about there?
I don't know.
I can make an ex-fan film guideline joke. And yes, I teased it. Ex-fan film guidelines.
Yes. Squadra course, $2.
Thank you.
What did you end up paying for all of Trek? Well, as I said, that we can't disclose that at this point. All of our financials and all the process will be available by the end of the year for sure. But until then, we have to keep it kind of under wraps because, like I said, there's still some approvals and stuff to go through. So
I mean, it's fair to say a fuck ton, but that's a pretty over 100 quatloos at least. Yes.
Well, to be fair, it has dropped considerably in value since Kurtzman got a hold of it, but so we got in at the right time. So.
Yes.
Steve Farr puts in £5. Have you made the call to Shatner yet? No.
Actually, no, we haven't.
Don't know if we will be.
I mean,
he's not up for any of our projects yet, so.
Yes.
We'll see.
We're still thinking. We're still planning. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Liam, $4. My dad works for CBS, so I guess you're his boss. Wow. Yeah, I guess so.
Boss's boss. Yeah.
Send us, his information, his last name. We'll make sure he's treated right and all that jazz. Sean Corpier, $5.
Thank you.
Can you cast me in a show?
I
we still have the SAG guidelines, Screen Actors Guild, for extras and stuff, so I'm not sure about that.
Although, to be fair, if one of our things is a time travel based story and we film on the street and get a permit, if we happen to tell you we're filming in LA on Thursday the 15th, oh no, you're in a shot. I mean, there are some ways around things.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Eric the Unknown, $2. Can I be an extra?
Oh.
Same thing goes.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Unless you got SAG, then probably uniform as well.
Everett Johnson, $5. Trekyards buys Viacom. On an unrelated note, the new hero ship for Star Trek will have 3 nacelles. Dun dun dun.
Don't think we've got that. We should know.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the list in a second, and then we'll discuss each thing individually. Yeah. But that's really not on the list. Then I'm gonna put that on my personal little bucket list.
I mean, we did go straight to the business stuff first, rather than the wish fulfillment 3 nacelle designs. I have no 4 nacelles anywhere in this. I mean, one of them I can maybe put one in, but not yet.
It's a good super chat though. I like that. Squadron course, $2. What new series are you planning to make? We'll get to that in a minute. As soon as we get through the super chats, we'll start the list.
You have 2 lists.
We'll give you the rundown, and then you guys can add to it or
ask questions. Yeah.
And we will be talking about each one individually as we kind of after we've gone through them. So
if you guys super chat, we'll keep talking.
Yeah. And trust me, we need the super chats because we spent everything we had. So
and more.
Yeah. Fleet Paw Swift back $5. Sorry, I'm late. Just got back from JFK. Traffic was a B word. What's my new salary, Stuart and Samuel? That's the other thing. The new corporate, like the new executives and things. We got to still a lot, you guys, but we want to have some scapegoats in case people don't like everything that we make. Then we can just blame it on you guys. It was their idea.
Is that a meeting you had while I was in LA? I don't know. I know you've been doing your own stuff. So
oh yeah.
Great way of telling me that on a live stream, but I mean.
Well, a lot of the Trekyards admins and stuff, moderators, they want to be part of the, and I don't blame them because they've been volunteering for years. So now we can actually afford a salary for them. So, but anyway, we'll get to that. Joshua Stearns, $5. Now that Bacula is available, can we get an Enterprise movie? That ties in with one of the things that we have. Yes, list. Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. Oh. We've got 100 likes. Nice. Yes, we have 118 with 147 people here. That is awesome. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Dusk to Dawn, $2. Can you add my own ship named the USS Atlantis? For new ships and stuff, because we are Trekyards, there will be an approval process for any new projects, but it's something that we're considering.
Well, I consider being something similar to the Sean Turinjo winner and the Enterprise and Adam Mile project, the Enterprise F and the Titan, contests.
Yeah.
So sorry, easy answer.
Yeah, stay tuned for things like that. Sean Corpé, $5. Can you increase merchandising? Absolutely. That's one of the other things we're going to be focusing on. We got some really great ideas as far as attractions and things go, which will be on the list, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
And then you can talk about that. But yes, merchandising is on top of my list because I love merchandising. Gareth Rooney, €5. How many bricks, bars, strips, and slips did you pay? Again, can't disclose any of the financials or any of the details until probably later this year, probably September-ish. But anyway.
Yeah.
Eugene, 500 rubles. I see no news about Kurtzman firing. He hasn't got any leverage on you, has he? Well, we got to get to this list.
I think we can start there. I think that's a good jumping off point because we have a list, guys, a legitimate list. Yes. We want to be quite honest with you guys, and you're a very trusted community, so bouncing stuff off you. But Stuart's going to read through all the stuff first, then we're going to dial back. So it's a long list, as you can imagine. We're excited to get going. So Stuart, impress the fans with our plans for Star Trek.
Very first item on the list: Kurtzman fired. Ronald D. Moore and Mike McMahon brought in as co-executive producers for all Star Trek moving forward. And of course us.
Well, yeah.
We're the producers. They're executive producers.
But they have TV experience, which is fair. I mean, we'll subdivide, so I'll just let you go through them.
But yeah, Kurtzman is out of here. HD remasters of Voyager and DS9.
Which I have notes on. I have updates from a meeting. Quite a lot the other do.
You got a lot of information there that I don't have because you were just at the meeting, so you'll be able to fill me in. So
yeah.
Remastering of the animated series in CGI, so recreated in CGI as well as a straight clean remaster. So both will be available side by side, so you can watch either the original just cleaned up or a CGI version for sure. 3 more seasons of Enterprise have been ordered with Bacula on board. It's going to be the Romulan Wars, and it should be fantastic.
I have quite a lot of notes on that, as you can imagine. That was quite an immediate sort of vibe with that one.
Yes, and we already have making sure that the finale will be appropriate for the series because that is very important.
The second finale, yes.
5 more seasons of Lower Decks have been pre-approved because Mike McMahon is so fantastically awesome, and we've already got a glimpse of all of season 2. We watched it when we got a screening version of them, and they're fantastic. So we got 5 more seasons of that. We got a Captain Sulu, Demora Sulu series. Yeah. But George Takei signed on for both as well. He will be in there as an admiral.
But we'll get into more details. But yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Captain Sulu.
Captain Wharf series has been also approved, and Michael Dorn he's all for it. So as you guys know.
So
yeah. We've got a Commander Cocking extended cut of Picard. It's a reshuffling of the deck for Picard, if you will.
I wasn't even pitching this. You pitched this to me, which I was quite pleased about.
Yeah. Well, you had so many great ideas when we did our reviews.
Yeah.
So you're going to re-edit it and do new special effects, and it's going to be good.
And what did you?
They're also filming some scenes.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. That's obviously bits and bobs. Although it's funny you compared it direct to the Snyder Cut idea. You know,
Yes.
it might not be the canon one, although the fans will decide that. I thought it was like, oh yeah, it's an easy way to sell it to the money men, because we spent all our money. So it's an easy way to sell it to them if you say, I like the Snyder Cut, but better.
Yeah. Fan film guidelines are being axed and revised. There will be very limited guidelines. We're actually going to encourage fan films. We're going to have scholarships and like grants for ideas for fan films. And we're also going to have a yearly, so an annual Star Trek fan film festival and awards ceremony, because we want to encourage you guys to create your own Star Trek, because that is exactly what Star Trek fans are all about, showing their love for the franchise. So, next up in gaming news.
Yes, which has been sorely lacking for a while.
Yes, Bridge Crew 2 VR has been announced for 2023. Because we're talking to Ubisoft, and they're going to be doing that officially now, because I thought it was a good idea. So they're going to do it. They're also including new DLCs for the first Bridge Crew as well. So more bridges coming out very soon, probably before the end of the summer, would be my guess. Very excited for this one, because there was a lot of licensing issues before. Interplay and Taldrin, who were responsible for the Starfleet Command series of games, have given us permission and approval to do the Starfleet Command Remastered Collection. All three of the original titles, well, plus Orion Pirates and stuff, there will be more in there, with updated graphics, and all eras are going to be included as well.
And it turns out the problem with licensing is throw money at it and it solves the problem. We found that quite easily. It was like the second thing on your agenda, you just like added a 0 and suddenly the issue was gone. It was like, come on.
Yeah. Bridge Commander 2.
That was easy. That took very little money. I'll be honest, that was an easy sell.
Yes. With Ezri as captain of the ship, so in game. So we'll follow the adventures of Ezri Dax. Captain Wharf spin-off game, with some cool bonuses for that. Somebody's signed up to be voicing that, so we'll talk about that in a second. The Adventures of Captain Riker VR experience, which if you remember the VR experience of Vader Immortal, it was a 3-episode kind of thing, limited but still gameplay, and it's all VR, so you can live it. This is kind of what that is. So it's going to be a 5-episode VR experience. Armada 3, again, based on Armada 1 and 2, but expanded to include all genres or all eras again, because everybody loves mixed eras. Okay, now for the interesting things. That was just the stuff that had to be done. Now for some interesting things.
And I think we should roll through those. Let's short some more super chats.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Discovery is going to be retconned at the end of season 4 of Discovery. They're going to consider
midway.
Well, I'm going to say by the end. I'll actually make a promise that by the end it'll line up exactly where it should.
Oh yes, as the new licensee owner, you can say that and be truthful as opposed to the previous one. Yes.
Yeah, as opposed to Kurtzman, who said it after season 1. So yes, it's going to turn out that it's actually a dream sequence. Michael is still Cadet Michael Burnham, but she's post Nemesis era. She's a cadet doing some research, going to be doing some ambassadorial work, and so she was researching Spock and Captain Pike and things. And she basically seasons 1 to middle of season 4 are going to be all a dream. She basically became captain as part of her dream, and then she wakes up drooling on herself on a table, and then has to finish season 4 as a cadet. So, and we have a few other things, but we'll talk about those. Well, there's going to be a Star Trek Las Vegas: The Experience Part 2, which is quite involved, but we'll get to that in a minute. And lastly, the big thing. This time next year, if all goes well, with approvals and things in place, we will also own Star Wars. We're going to be buying Star Wars from Disney, and we're going to keep Star Trek and Star Wars, the two biggest sci-fi the main sci-fi, under one umbrella. We're going to be taking care of all of it.
Now, this is Stuart's baby, so I'm not even in those rooms. I'm busy doing other stuff. I'm kind of micromanaging some of the smaller ideas. He's out there trying to do that big. I'm slightly more dubious, I'll be honest, Stuart, and I've said to you before. But you know, as soon as you up the market share of CBS for the Trek stuff, boy, that buying power becomes much stronger.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of ambitious plans. We just kind of glazed over them. We're going to talk about each one individually now, and please put your input, any ideas you have, anything like that, because we really want to make this something real for you guys. So,
obviously, I have brand new notes that
All
Stuart has
right.
not heard yet, which is exciting.
Yes, I'm going to be excited.
Yep.
We got 3 super chats to get to, so let's get to those. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5. I missed the likes. Sorry, was busy counting all the millions I'm going to embezzle. I mean, that you're going to pay me. Wow. Well, you're not going to be in charge of the finances. So
Clearly.
You automatically just set up, in my mind, how much you're going to be getting paid.
Yeah, you talked yourself out of a job there a little bit there.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Adventures of Neelix and Jar Jar, the crossover we all want. Well, see, that they'll have to wait till at least next year until we have the Star Wars rights.
And also, one is a galaxy far, far away, and one is in the far future. So that would be some. I think, and unlike DC, we'd actually have to create. If that was, I mean, we'll do some market research. If that was something that people wanted, we have to build the prequel shows to explain why, because that's a heavy sort of forced leap. So who knows? Who knows?
We'll see what we can do.
Wow.
Kevin Scott, 76, $2.
Hey.
Star Trek exists on the Orville, so y'all do too.
Well, we don't own Fox yet, but who knows?
I don't know if we want Fox.
We can always do. Well, I mean, maybe we can negotiate some sort of crossoverness with Orville. Who knows? That's not fully up to us, obviously.
Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, $5. Will there be franchising of 10 Forward? I would love to open up one in Ohio. Hey, that's a great idea. We should add that.
And every single one has a unique Guinan hat on the wall.
Yeah.
You get the purple big hat. You get the green tiny hat. You get the invisible hat that's actually made of plastic. Why not? Give it a flair.
Yeah, cool. Matthew DeFreitas, $2. Retcon the damn bridge window, for fuck's sakes. Oh, that's... Don't worry, we got that. We're going to remaster everything.
Oh, God, stop announcing more. Fuck's sake.
What if it's not? It needs to be fixed. It's going to be fixed.
Okay.
2 more super chats.
Okay.
Lunar 73, £5.
Thank you.
How about a Snyder cut of Star Trek 5?
What, Shatner cut?
It'd be a Shatner cut of Star Trek 5.
I
We'll talk.
mean-
Actually, that's the project we should call him about.
That's an interesting idea, yeah. But we'll say we'll give you twice your original budget, and I'll be like, oh shit. I'm also
Yeah, because
90.
he had some different ideas for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, well, that's going on the list.
And it's interesting because he was old Shatner-ish at that point, so his voice could probably be a lot closer than like Hamill was in Mandalorian. So if you did CG de-aging and de-weighting, then his voice would be closer. Because that actually would work better than it could do.
Oh, it's added to my list. All right.
It's good.
Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, €5.
Thank you.
I have an idea for a DS9 aftermath show. Star Trek, Empok Nor. Logically set on Empok Nor, which is occupied by a group of mercenaries and free agents. You know, that's not bad.
I mean, pitch it to us in 2023, which is our next pitch, like, round of shows. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for the super chat, Samuel. Now I'm excited to hear how your things went and approvals you got and ideas and anything extra. So
I mean, obviously, it's ideas and everything that you've talked about there. But we can start. My first thing is about the HD remasters, but we can briefly go over the Kurtzman thing, although it's pretty self-explanatory. But I'm really excited that Ronald D. Moore said yes to come back. He obviously loves Star Trek. That wasn't a hard sell. But having him and Mike McMahon, I think, is a great duo. One is, really understands that darker, serious tone, and one understands a more light tone. Put them together, I think they'll balance themselves well. And I mean, Mike's a fan of Ron's. Like, it's a good match. I don't know if Ron's seen Lower Decks. I probably should have asked. I kind of assume he did. Why wouldn't he? But
I think he has.
Yeah, I'm sure we'd like it.
Yeah. But yeah, Kurtzman's out of here. So that's the first thing that had to happen. That was
Simple.
it'll probably be announced tomorrow officially. But well, you guys are getting it here because you guys are kind of our insider crew. But tomorrow you'll probably see the headlines and stuff. So yeah.
But yeah, news on the HD remasters. I mean, a clearly requested item. We know the biggest problem between the TNG and Voyager ones is that the Blu-ray market fell down, so the selling power is a lot less. But also TNG is a rescanning material and putting it back together, whereas Voyager and DS9 is rescan and recreate from scratch. And especially in late seasons, you're looking at a lot of stuff. And even some things in DS9 they had a problem in TNG. At the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about how much money you can put in. I'm confident that streaming services will want to swap to that, and we've already got feelers out that all those companies will obviously we want the best version of the show to go out, but we're inclined to ask for a fee to allow, say, Netflix to upgrade to the new version. At least they can help spread the cost a little bit. But I do want to do Blu-rays. I mean, I'm very keen to. I think that market's still there, as long as we fill them with special features. How and why they were made. I know the Voyager documentary are getting involved. They'll do some bonus stuff on the discs, because you can't get special features on the TNG Blu-rays on the TNG streaming. So special features, commentaries. I'm pitching. That's a megaphone, but I want to get as many casts back to get 3 casts per episode. Do a new commentary track, which I think is value add. I think that's worth something, and it'll take a while. Some of the visual VFX team signed on. We've got Mojo and Rob back, obviously. We're sort of debating in the meeting how far do we go. Obviously, the live action stuff will be just HD. But obviously, the CG stuff, how far do you go? I think we're kind of consensusing that we can do some rebuilds, but it's kind of up to the stylistic nature. As in, those guys that worked at the time, they know what they put less time into, and so we're more inclined to say, okay, this ship they only put 2 days in. We can do a rebuild and kind of refine it, but other stuff like Prometheus, where they put time into it, they can kind of leave it as it was, just kind of heighten what was there. But some things they're just going to replace, which luckily means a lot of stuff stays the same. Unfortunately, quite a lot of the episodes have to be rebuilt. Quite a lot of shots as well, for different reasons, especially DS9. But I mean, they're not uber complicated, which is great. But I think we're on a good track.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that personally, because it's something people have wanted for a long time, and it's
obvious.
And with the way we're going to restructure Paramount Plus as far as subscriptions go, your subscriptions will help pay for the remastering. So it's actually going to, all feed back into each other. So it's going to be fine. You guys are going to have access to all that stuff early as well with CBS, with Paramount Plus. So, and
I did also pitch that there'll be an initial. It's not a crowdfunder, but in essence, it'll be a unique Paramount Plus option, which is I want the remasters, because we know that it's all about money equals speed. So if it takes 2 years per season, which is a long time, with this budget, because we're doing a lot of stuff, if we can raise enough, like a separate subscription, that will be chunked. There'll be like for every million more we can raise, there'll be months being cut from the budget, from the time. Yeah. And so I think, honestly, you guys can probably help us half the time. I think that's very reasonable. And you guys will get exclusives. We'll send you a Blu-ray as part of it, so you'll still get a physical at the end of it. And it's going to be exciting. I mean, those shows are great. They hold up well. And there is a few extendeds. I'm inclined personally to promote a few of the episodes where they over-filmed and had to cut it down. Let's just do a longer version. Now, while it may not be as good as the original in terms of pacing, there's distinct scenes that we could add back and have a few fan editions. They're not really director's editions, but 52-minute episodes. There's a few of those. There's Year of Hell has 2 or 3 more scenes, I believe. So there's some good stuff, and I think people extra value, Stuart. That's the biggest pitch I kept saying in the meeting. Extra value. I don't know why I'm having to pitch that. It should be obvious, but they liked it, so here we are. It's confirmed, Stuart.
Yep. So all right, so let's move on to next in the list here, remastering the animated series. Now, this needs cell cleanup, things like that, just to present it in its original format. But they're also going to use CGI to remaster the entire thing as a CGI version. So when you get the disc, you can watch either the original version just cleaned up or the CGI version, which is going to be fantastic. And hopefully that will be in the next 2 years. It's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, but they have all the audio and everything. So remastering those is not going to be much of an issue. But it's going to be a lot less expensive than doing the HD remasters of DS9 and Voyager.
I am cognizant that the audio quality isn't necessarily up to par, but we're reaching out to companies to kind of like clean up a little bit. Not like fully digital, because that can kind of ruin it, but there's a few companies that can kind of enhance things, and obviously the new 5-point surround sound mix. Yeah, I mean I like that. It was definitely not what I was expecting, but I mean it just should be thought of as a full remaster. But being able to see these things. Now I believe you had a question. I haven't got notes on this because I guess it was your thing. Did you pitch for the CG version to actually replicate the animated series bridge, or do a more traditional TOS Connie with the correct placement of the turbolift? Like, which way did you end up falling on that?
I'm going to leave the additional turbolift shaft or turbolift doors in because I like it. It's a nice anomaly in Trek. And it kind of supports a lot of people's theories that that's not the actual turbolift thing at the back of the bridge. It's actually just an extra turbolift thing. So I kind of like keeping the controversy alive because that's one of the things that makes Star Trek fun. So we're going to keep that. We're going to keep the extra turbolift doors.
Hey, you had the meeting.
Yeah,
that's obviously your baby.
Yeah.
And do we get fun lots on Shatner doing commentary tracks or not? Did that come through? Or still.
Well, we're talking to his agent. Like I said, we haven't talked to him yet, but that's something that we're going to be approaching. So hopefully that will be a go.
I don't think he's probably ever watched them ever, so that would be a fun, like, oh, I filmed
Which
this.
Which city were you in when you recorded these lines in your hotel room? Because he was doing like different theater and productions and stuff at the time. So Fleet Pass Swiftback though, $5. Stuart, can I shove Kurtzman out of an airlock? I'm very good at it, as you know, and it would give me great pleasure to carry out this. Well, maybe, yes.
I mean, a green screen airlock. I mean,
I want to build an airlock on the top of the CBS corporate offices and literally throw them out an airlock.
Goodness. Obviously, padded floors, obviously.
Sean Corpier, $5. Collab with Elon Musk and SpaceX. That's like the 10-year plan to actually start building a real enterprise in orbit. But that's kind of far-fetched right now at this point because...
And I mean, I'm sure he's a Star Trek fan, so... Hey, maybe if he wants to put some money in, I mean, hey, Elon, pitch us a show, and if you want to self-fund it, I mean, it could be really fun.
Sean Corpier... Oh, sorry. Another $5. Matt Damon as Kirk in true to form continuation of TOS. Matt Damon.
I don't know if I can see that. I'm probably more inclined to have Chris Pine, ironically, because he did quite a good actual TOS Kirk in the Saturday Night Live sketch. Yeah.
Sure. I'd personally like to do some deep fake stuff with the Star Trek Continues that they've already got, because Star Trek Continues did a good job of carrying on the tradition. So
that's interesting.
Sean Corpay, $5. Yes, Star Trek Online 2.
Oh, but such a good job.
That's going to be the VR version of Star Trek Online, which might eventually be a thing, but not right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff in the works. We don't want to disturb their plans because they're always busy, those guys. I think they're planned to like 2026. Obviously, they get more and more fuzzy, but they have got some real plans.
Robert Westfall says you've been called out several times already. On what? We're just giving you our ideas. We want you to contribute. So, Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Make no toilets canon. Waste beamed out. Well, that's kind of silly, but
maybe on lower decks short. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right. So what's next on the list? Oh, 3 more seasons of Enterprise, the Romulan War, which kind of more your baby because you've been working on a fan film of the Romulan War. So
well, I've certainly been intertwined. Now this is funny because I pitched 2, and you said 3, and I remember in the meeting you said we both had our notes 2, and you walked in and you said 3, and I was like, what? And they said yes, and I was like, oh shit, because that's a lot of extra story. But I know obviously Romulan War, clearly obvious topic, and they do look older, which is great because there is a time gap. I'm still struggling to get Jodie Blaylock. She's sort of retired and done everything. I think we can get her, but probably not as a big primary. But I mean, Earth Romulan War. But Scott's back.
Oh,
he's
you
excited.
Got the temporal Cold War to finish up as well, which also explains the aging because we're going to address that like in the first episode episode of the next season.
I mean, the Romulan War is set enough years later. Although since they filmed the final episode, which takes place after the Romulan War, which is further, like they look older than they did after the Romulan War. But no, 3 seasons. We've got most of the main cast. I think some of them are hesitant just because of their characterization. I think we know which ones are which, but you know, I told the lawyers, I told the agents, everyone gets character pieces. You know, it's far more TNG in which everyone gets a distinct sort of job and respect that more. And obviously Mike and Ron both want to, obviously they're they're helping to run everything. But yeah, 3 years. We've got John Eves back. He's going to help design some new Romulan stuff.
And congratulations to him. He just won a Lifetime Achievement Award. So
congratulations, John Eves.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very, very good. Definitely big Romulan focus. We know that there's that big issue with the way the TOS says in canon. So and I know you haven't heard this yet, Stuart, but they're tempted, like I said, they're tempted to visualize the Romulan War as it should be, and then do a temporal Cold War time reversal, and then reset it to a TOS vibe. So kind of you still get both. So you see it as it would be if it was made more modern, and then you undo it all. So it kind of devalues it, but the action's the same, just less. It's kind of in a sense the same as Enterprise Season 4 ending, because it kind of undoes it, but in a more interesting way. I'm half and half. I don't know if you've got, because the producers kind of like that, because it means they get their Discovery vibe, but also we get our canon vibe. I don't know if you've had any thoughts on that.
Not really, no. It's obviously something I would like to see the TOS version of the Romulan War as opposed to the NX era, which is a little bit, that's always bugged me a little bit, but that's why I want to kind of stay away from it personally, because I don't want to get my taint all over it. It sounds very disgusting.
It does. But like I said, we got most of the main cast, but obviously it's a war-based show, so it won't feature the Enterprise as the big primary. So obviously Scott's, I think he's an admiral. I haven't looked at the scripts yet. So there'll be multiple captains, quite a big diverse cast, lots of, as in we're going to have English and, other accents, because Star Trek tends to be, this is the era where every nation is more their own nation. It's not as homogenized, so we're going to have different ships. So it's going to be good. It's going to be more gritty, but in a Trek way. It's a more of a naval feel, with a sort of strategic vibe. And it does build up. I know that Season 2 is going to be, a lot bigger. I think we're doubling the budget for Season 2 and then bring it down for Season 3. Give them stories first season, give them big battles second season, and then pull them back for more poetic for third season, which they don't like. I'll be honest, they fought back, but I kind of like the, build gently and then go wild and then be conservative again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we are now, but it's going, and Scott's back. Scott's really interested, actually. He was annoyed by the season finale, and that was enough to push him over the edge.
And luckily, NCIS New Orleans is done now, so he's definitely on board for that. All right, let's see. We got some more super chats here.
Yes.
Sean's put in $5. Pay to rehabilitate Avery Brooks and then film DS9 the movie. Well, it's not about rehabilitating. He's just, I don't know the whole story there.
I haven't spoken to him. I can't say.
Yeah. So we'll just move on. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2. 22 to 26 episodes per season on the restart of Enterprise. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I definitely want more than 10 or 12 episodes.
I'm getting some hard pushback. I think for just especially with how much we're asking. If we didn't have the Sulu show and the Wharf show, I think we can get 24. But we're not. We only have so much pull. I think I can get us 15, which is pretty. I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to try and pitch that as 3 5s, kind of like Enterprise Season 4, but they had 3s. So as everyone I say, pictures like a book. So you got 3 chapters, Season 1, 3, Season 2, and then the last season I think it's going to be one more episode to kind of get a 6. So I'm working on it, but I think 15 is a pretty good compromise. I don't want to push them too far.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Good call. All right. Sean, $5. Tucker that died was actually a clone. Bring Tucker back as a Romulan war prisoner. Well, yeah, it's actually explained in the series of books, Star Trek Enterprise Daedalus. There's a 2-part. It was actually faked his death for Section 31. So that's all going to be incorporated because we do want Trek back.
I mean, but that takes place after the Romulan War, so it's irrelevant. Because the final episode is after, so he's not dead in that part of the time.
Oh, okay. Well, that episode though, we got to do something about that because I don't like that being.
Well, I mean, maybe we can add a scene to the the Riker. wouldn't it be kind of fun if we put for the Riker VR, actually watch him replaying Enterprise, and then at the end, like a meta story. I don't know.
Could do, because it's not a series finale at that point. It's just the end of a season, so we'll see. James McGill, $20.
Thank you
so much.
Damn.
Remastering all shows and movies, fixing every error by editing, special effects, dialogue, etc. Add new starships and stations, but stay true to each era. However, Discovery Season 1 and 2 and Star Trek 5 need major fixing. JJ vs. Star Trek. Sarcastic Vulcan salute. Well, we're not getting... See, people are wanting to decanonize JJ verse and stuff, but JJ verse brought in a lot of new fans to Star Trek. Plus, it does have Leonard Nimoy. It is tied in. It is a thing, but it's the Kelvin verse. We're not going to decanonize anything like that. Unfortunately, it's got its audience, so we're going to... Everybody that likes Star Trek, their thing. So...
And I'll be honest, there are contractual things with that. You know, these contracts are now older than they could be. So we could do something, but at a certain point we have to throw out a lot of money to force these contracts. And would you not rather see a Captain Sulu show than just to decanonize JJ Trek? You know,
Priorities.
Priorities, yeah.
Unfortunately, in the corporate world, there are priorities, and money is an issue.
Yep.
There's only so much to go around, so we're
being smart.
Our balance. Kevin Scott, $76, $2. The Orville season 3 will be on Hulu. Yes, absolutely, it will be. We'll have to scoop. Maybe let's see if you scoop one or Fox for season 4. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Sam makes door noises, so credited as Foley artist. Sam's a Foley artist. I'm a Foley artist.
Funny.
Space art by Christopher. Hey, Christopher Doll is here. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey,
$5. A plucky, short, human-looking android would be great for this revival. Maybe he can have a catchphrase like, oh, I can't even do it. Twiggy from Buck Rogers. Bigger. Tom Lee, £5. At Trekyards, are we going to see more Gorn? And are you going to make them have digit-grade legs? This is really important to me. Yes, there will be more Gorn. We've seen actually the Gorn that were in the Kelvin Star Trek video game for PS3 were fantastically done. So we're going to incorporate the Gorn from TOS, those ones, and also the one that we saw in In a Mirror Darkly, which is a little bit different, as different versions of the Gorn, because it's a big planet. There's different variations. So yeah, there will be Gorn. Don't worry. All right. Moving along. Next up on the list is Captain Sulu, Demora Sulu thing, which I wanted to do just a Captain Sulu series, which a lot of people had requested, but you said that was kind of not doable considering how much he's aged.
Yeah. So
what was your idea to kind of give us that, but not?
Yeah. So it would have been a perfect idea in the 90s and even in the 2000s. He did very, very well. But nothing against George Takei, but he looks older than Patrick Stewart in a lot of ways. I guess he's probably older than Patrick Stewart, but I don't know. So yeah, no, Captain Sulu is the title, but it's the Demora Sulu show, which still holds true, but with George Takei as a supporting role, as the secondary, not like Brent and Picard, like actually as a secondary. Starts out as Admiral Sulu, but I know also this isn't going to go too far because it's for our audience, but he does get demoted, kind of like Kirk, to a captain in season 2, which does actually make it the two captains, which is a really fun dynamic. And you get kind of see the older blood and the new blood. And obviously it's because it's where it takes place in the timeline. It is Lost World or Lost Era, which is really cool. I don't think we're going to Excelsior back just because it makes sense timeline wise. But it'll be Demora with Admiral Sulu doing a big storyline. It's going to include other, at least named characters from the era, which is great. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's kind of similar to Stranger Worlds conceptually, although a bit more, not militaristic, but it's going to deal with a lot of the repercussions of the demilitarization between the Klingons and the Romulan Federation. And then, because we're decanonizing Discovery and all that stuff, and some, but there's going to be a little bit of the Romulan interference, because that's the other superpower to deal with. So they're going to be dealing with the Romulan stuff. maybe even get into some political stuff with the Klingons and how they, as we know, trying to manipulate stuff. So it'll be kind of a more, just like the Enterprise one is a naval. This is slightly more of a political thriller, slightly, but I would consider it slightly more akin to kind of like his scenes from Star Trek 6. I mean, really, it's kind of like separate ship, bigger ship, doing their thing. Also, we haven't necessarily, as you can tell, finished the treatments yet, but knowing the cast is important. And we're going to try and bring back Kurt to be the Federation president.
Kurtwood Smith, yeah.
I mean, the makeup, he'll look the same. And I think I'm going to try and get in like the swap of presidents to a different race as part of that, to kind of give it that bigger political feel. Again, bouncing off Star Trek 6. I don't know if the Azret Bur actress is still alive, but I do want to have Azret Bur as well. He's a Klingon, so you can kind of do a new actress. I don't think I'm too worried about that. So yeah, there's definitely, it's a Star Trek 6 sequel in essence, but with even though it's further in the timeline because obviously Enterprise B, although B was just after 6. But yeah, it's the Sulus.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Let's see. Free Pass Swiftback, $5. Hey, I'm a plucky short human. I'm great for that role. Bitty. What's up, Buck? Sean Corpier, $5.
Thank you.
Remaster Klingons in Discovery or remove season 1 altogether. Oh, they're going to be remastered. That's one thing we're going to do for the remastered Discovery Blu-rays. They're just going to, every visual effects thing, the battles, everything is going to be changed. We're going to have an option to buy in the original version or the Eric appropriate prime time.
Well, it's just
version.
the TNG Voyager remastered team. We're just going to get them to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have more experience than Discovery team have, especially the DS9 team. James McGill, $2. Change restrictions for fan-made Star Trek productions. That's one of the next things on the list. Not the next thing, but one of them coming up. We're going to talk about that specifically. And yes, we're definitely embracing fan films. So stay tuned, James. Chris Kostick, $10. When is the big Star Trek Star Wars crossover happening? I see Q involved with a schism in the Force. Like I said, that'll probably be next year once we've acquired the rights to Star Wars. Disney's quite difficult to deal with, as you can imagine, and we got to get our ducks in a row before we can even. We've put out feelers and got the initial little things going, but that's still a good year away. So, Mark Lawrence, $5. Got insanely busy at work. Finally got here. Well, good to see you, Mark. Mark, my buddy, did you do that thing that you're supposed to do? I don't think you did. Send that thing. And Sean puts in $5. A Lost Era show. Yes, that's what's going to be the Demura Sulu, the Sulu hour. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. Anyway, moving on to the next project on the list, Captain Wharf. Now, this is going to not be a series, I don't think. One of the things that I've kind of pitched for this one, as just because Michael Dorn's older and just it's got limited potential, I think. So I'm proposing a mini series for this one of about 10 episodes, but that could change. But he's definitely on board for that because that's something he wanted to see, was a Captain Sulu show. So Chris Kostick, $5. The mouse wants his money. Mickey. And Tom Lee, £5. Thank you so much, Tom. No comment, but thank you so much. But no, you are right. I mean, by its very nature, a Klingon show is going to have more action. And so I know the sentiment is less episodes, bigger budget, more like Discovery vibe, but if it's done right, it's done right. And I think I haven't seen Michael Dorn's treatment for a while, but I know there's going to be Klingon Civil War stuff. So you are looking at, building a full Vulture bridge, a full D7 bridge, a full Bird of Prey bridge. Actually having that, because you could make one bridge and make them all. They want to have, a faction with a real fleet vibe, and so repaint. If they repaint a Vulture bridge, the blue pennants, whatever, that takes time. So they're really fleshing out the ships. I mean, everything. The corridors are all the same because it doesn't matter, but it all pretty much takes place on ships, varying ship designs. I know they're doing a newer design as well, kind of a post TNG one, which would be like, ooh, here we go. Kind of like the Enterprise D vibe, like, ooh, it's brand new, fresh. But obviously, Klingons are known for their reuse of stuff, so it's going to be very much to keep it fresh. They're going to keep changing the ship vibes. So you gotta, a lot of money for not a lot of episodes, but I'm okay with that because you expect that stuff. If he beams aboard a D7, it should feel like a D7 bridge. It shouldn't feel like, what they had in TNG. Sometimes.
Yeah. So the initial plan is for miniseries, but it could change. We don't know yet. That's still
Up to
very
you.
early on. And,
I mean, if you guys subscribe to Paramount Plus and say we'll want it, I mean, I'm sure Michael would do more seasons. I know he wants to do most of his plot line in one season, just in case we've been trying it for long enough. But I mean, hey,
Yeah. Next up on the agenda, this is the Commander Hawkins cut.
Yes.
Commander's cut of Star Trek Picard.
I have had meetings about this.
So extended cut, because if you watch the reviews of it, Picard is our least favorite of the new Trek, and we thought, well, Samuel came up with some really great ideas to edit that and change it, and then of course the special effects need to be touched up ship-wise. So anyway, that's his deal. I thought of the idea. I thought it'd be great for the fans because you guys all asked for it during the whole time we were reviewing it. So there you go. Putting the ball in your court again. I'm so sorry.
No, it's good.
Games are coming up soon, and then I get to talk about games.
No, it's good. I mean, that was a really nice one. I do think once the Snyder Cut became a thing, that became an easier pitch to the studio. A lot of the footage is already there. And I know a lot of it we're gonna be cheeky. Some of the green screens, we're gonna rotoscope some stuff. But yeah, the idea is to take what was there, reformat it a bit, strengthen up the villains a ton because they were underdeveloped. We've got Patrick signed. I mean, he's on season 2, so we're just gonna add an extra 2 or 3 months to season 2's filming first. Got to do that out of the way. Brent's back. He needed. Stuart, I'll tell you this in confidence, so no one listen, please, okay? Brent's request for reshoots was double.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
And that's. I mean, you said yes though, because I mean, I'm actually gonna put him in the entire show. Like, the first scene is implying data flashbacks, like dreams. So I'm actually gonna have him in the entire show as dreams. It's obvious there,
Yeah, and we're going to, of course, Maddox is going to be the original actor. I think we're trying to get him anyway back on.
Well, that entire episode's getting basically ripped apart. I mean, we're not doing the Echeb thing, so functionally that one's being completely like as Vajazel was vaporized.
Yeah. And Lau is also going to be mentioned and referred to a few times because that was a major plot problem. So we're going to fix this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have the advantage that everyone's filming season 2 and their contracts are not that hard to amend. But no, we're going to move it to 13 episodes. We're going to completely reshuffle a few, break apart quite a lot, take a lot of the guff out. Patrick is down. I think he's inclined to... maybe not undo his death at the end, but heavily reframe it so it means more. And I am very much inclined to alter how all of the villains are in it. I mean, they're all filmed separately and in different sets. And I had a lot of beef with the Borg sets. So I'm quite inclined to undo how that thing was treated in season 1. Not actually have it, because as soon as it lifts off at the end of the first season, like if you have it lift off, the sets become usable for season 2, which we're going to obviously pause film and do this. So build new Borg sets, make them actually worth something, change the whole Jack Vash plot a little bit, have Riker in it up more. Gonna have Gates. She's not signed on, but have Gates in it because I want to have flashbacks throughout as well. So there's gonna be 2 different styles of going back. There's gonna be the Data style dreams, which are about Picard's subconscious and him pushing him forward, and there's gonna be flashbacks to younger versions of them about Picard's brain that's telling him lessons that he should be learning from the past. So we're going to see why he didn't end up with Crusher. We're going to see a situation he has with the other Crusher with Will. He's going to come back. So we're going to have a bit more of a legacy factor, but kind of give him more of a rationale because. And let's be fair, Stuart, the reason he left Starfleet was garbage. So we're going to deepen that a ton. Actually, give him behind the scenes stories to kind of justify that. So a lot of restructuring and. I mean, the Snyder Cut is double as long and not a lot of reshoots, but just using real footage. This will be a lot of reshoots and a lot of restructuring. I kind of guess about 50% of the season will be reused and 50% reshoot/reordered. Yeah, it's a lot, but I think we can just really improve it. So that's kind of where I am, Stuart. Don't know what you think about that.
No, I love that because that's exactly the vibe I had going in. Of course, the original cut is still going to be available. We're not going to pull a Star Wars where we're not going to release the original stuff.
No. What's the Kurtzman cut?
Everybody.
Yeah, it's the Kurtzman era.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll have to think of a name because I don't think anybody would buy that. But
do you want them to though?
Well, yes, money. Anyway, so yeah, those things will still be available because everything has its audience. So we're not getting rid of anything. We're just, here you go. These we won't promote so much. Look at our new stuff. All right, so we got some super chats. Feargal0115 $5. Welcome from down under, recovering from the week on Saturday morning, April the 2nd here. Well, happy April the 2nd to you. Tom Lee puts in 10 pounds. Tommy Lee Jones? Okay. I have found a way to have a 3-engine ship by combining your designs. Have warp sustainers to maintain warp speed, 1 medium engine as speed boost, and 2 large engines to get to speed. Sounds interesting. We'll have to take a look at that at some point. Sean puts in $5.
Hey.
Samuel, buy Stargate after Star Wars.
I mean, hey, with this portfolio, they'll be offering it at a certain point.
We're gonna have the sci-fi franchise. We're gonna have everything under it.
We can make so much money in a good way. Just saying.
Area 51, $5. Doing a round trip to Mars this summer. April Fools. I'm not coming back. Oh, you just one-way trip there?
Yep.
I hear it's not on fire this time of year, so you should be fine. The atmosphere is not on fire.
And I do keep forgetting it's April Fool's Day. As it's
Yeah.
we're so absorbed by our own news. It's like, oh yeah, but no one's really posted stuff. I'm kind of surprised. I'm underwhelmed.
We were super excited about this and didn't even consider the day, unfortunately.
It's meaningless compared to this. Really seriously, yeah.
Hellrats 96, $5.
Thank you.
Any chance of a crossover? Maybe something where we finally meet the species Gonzo from the Muppet System. Hey, that'd be great. Gonzo's a good character. So yeah, Planet Full of Gonzos. Hey.
I've never, I'll be honest, I've not gone to CBS catalog, but we have the catalog now, so a little bit easier now to do crossovers for sure. But what's the next thing, Stuart, on the list?
Next thing on the list is opening up fan films, and we're having, as I said, an annual fan film festival, Star Trek Fan Film Festival, and Fan Film Awards every year, and we're also going to be offering grants throughout the year for different fan film projects. So
now, I know the vibe is we don't want to see the multi-million project. That's not the point of them. But the grants are kind of to get filmmakers off the starting line, and then when they want to self-fund or go beyond that. Although you have to obviously, prove you can make films. Like, we're not offering grants to, or at least of a worthwhile grant to like some guy with a cell phone. No offense to them, but you know what I mean. If you've got something on your IMDb that proves you can make something, then you can apply for it.
Well, and to be fair, we're offering grants and partnerships. So if a project is really worthy, we'll pitch in. We'll double what they already have. We will, give them, people, resources to help finish it. Because if it's a good idea, it's a good project, and we can add it to our lineup and make some, profit off of it. Why not?
Well, that's the thing. It's so variable. I mean, anyone can make a fan film and submit it to the festival. Like, that is a completely open thing. But there's these levels. Yes. If you're a 25-year veteran of the film industry and you say, I want to make a Star Trek fan film series about X, or say, Tim Russell, like, I want to make a Tuvok fan film, brilliant. And you bring in, like you said, 15K, and you come to us, or, CBS asks, say, match funds, I've got this plan, that's different, etc. Maybe we can get you another Voyager actor, etc. So a lot of potential, and certainly, I mean, the Paramount Plus stream platform, it's a great place to put this stuff, because it also encourages a certain level of quality. Obviously, you've got the tiers of amateur, professional, and, enthusiast, I guess, because there are different. So you pick and choose, but how many times is just watching a quaint fan film really fun? But what's great about because obviously we're producing so much new stuff, the prizes of the guideline, the prizes and the prizes for the winners are active parts of the shows, not necessarily behind the scenes, but if say you're the guy that's directing the fan film, you're also the captain. Maybe you want to be a third tier actor, as in a one-off guest star in Picard season 3. So some pretty fun prizes. Get yourself into canon by making a Star Trek fan film. Yeah. Okay, we're not promising like you get to be a camera guy on Picard, because that is But I mean, who knows? You make really good inroads. Who knows? A lot of potential.
And of course, the fan film festival, will be a different city every year, moving around the country. and not just in America, around the world essentially, so everybody can be a part of it every year.
Although the top 20 submissions do get their flights paid for, so we want that camaraderie feel. So if you put the effort in to make the fan film of obviously that top 20, which is quite a lot, there aren't that many fan films at that sort of level, then you get your flights paid for, of course, because it's a great community. And then
one more like to get to 200 though, guys.
Ooh,
hit
excellent.
that like button if you haven't.
Please do.
All right, so what do we got here? Feargal011, $5 Thank you again.
Thank you.
I want someone to explain what happened to Kirk between TOS and Star Trek Motion Picture. Did he really try to conquer the Romulan Empire with red roses?
Boredom.
Tiburon, $5. The rest of this has been somewhere between silly and fun, but a fan film festival should be such a no-brainer, no matter who owns the IP. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're glad we're in charge now, because these are things the fans want that we're presenting here. So if you have any other ideas, put them in, and we'll see that they get implemented.
I like how you're throwing out these big ideas, and I'm having to sort of ground them a little more, my experience. But that's the duo we bring,
That's me though. I like grand ideas. Here's the idea. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh no, Mr. Captain! No, full suit. Full suit.
Well, I was home today. I didn't have to wear a suit, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Squadron Course, $2. How about book submissions with new ships and crews? Well, book submissions are always welcome. I
haven't thought about it. I'll be honest.
The Betaverse, the Beta universe, Beta canon, absolutely.
I mean, with so many things we're doing, it's hard to keep track of the new stuff. So I'll be hesitant to be that open, but we'll see. I mean, we're just starting. Give us 6 months. Let's have a think first.
Jordan Todd Scott, £5. Obviously, the next season of Discovery has no bridge window or a bridge retcon. Yes, and Enterprise is the TOS and pre-TOS Enterprise, and definitely no window, and definitely a really cool updated bridge, but still TOS. Fleetpod Swiftback, $2, 202 likes. I look forward to this. It will be fun. Yes. And Sean, $5. Star Trek DS9, The Town. Well, we're attractions and things we're getting to. That's last on the list. That's a good discussion for sure. But speaking of next on the list, games. All right. First and foremost here, we've got the Bridge Crew 2 VR, which Bridge Crew is a fantastic game. And every time I play it...
fought for that so hard. Let's just be fair. You were
I know.
Paid for. You wrote that check.
Yeah. And as a supplement, also, we talked to Ubisoft, and they're doing more DLCs for the original Bridge Crew VR in case, So people get stuff right now because the Bridge Crew 2 won't be around for a few years. So.
Well, what's nice is it's the same game engine. So you are going to see the DLC bridges in Bridge Command 2. It's not as if, they're building stuff for both. It's just they're doing new mechanics for the second game. So, yes, you can still experience Enterprise D Bridge or the E Bridge, but you won't be able to walk around in the first game. But that's why it's worth then buying the TOS expansion in the second game, because you can now walk around. Yes, it looks the same, but it only looks so good. I'm fine with that.
And there's also different stations. In Bridge Crew you have the operations helm, tactical, whatever, depending on which bridge you're using. But this one you'll be able to actually go see different parts of the ship. So if you're in the engineering section and you need to switch out between engineering on the bridge and go down to engineering and actually mess with some things down there, some settings, or do repairs. One of the big things about Bridge Crew right now is you can't get hull repairs done. This Bridge Crew 2, we're going to institute that so that you can actually start repairing the hull and actually, because it's really shitty when you keep getting damage when your hull's going down. But anyway, so that's a thing. There's also going to be a free form mode where you can check out different rooms of the ship, different sections. Like I said, phaser control, engineering, anything that applies to combat. So if you need to go from the bridge down there, you can, but you can also just wander around these particular rooms.
Although, to be clear, we all need to make money on these things to generate more. So the initial ships that come with the game, which will probably be the Connie and the D again, they'll have those rooms, but and you will get those secondary bridges, but those won't include the rooms. That'll be the DLC pack. So when you get the Void DLC, suddenly you'll get those 8 or 4, 5, 6 rooms, and then as we get like a Dederedex, that'll be there's a lot of reason to keep buying these packs. And what's
and that's the thing. I was going to say, sorry, didn't mean to...
Yeah, fine.
That's the thing with Bridge Crew 2, is they're going to have, you can be Romulan, you can be Klingon.
In the expansions, I know we pulled back from the initial
the base game is going to have Klingon and Romulan as well. One ship each, and there's going to be DLCs for each. So you don't always play as the Federation like you do with the first Bridge Crew.
But those are just bridges, though. Those are like kind of slightly more simplistic versions until the DLCs, etc. Yes. I think we're trying for DLCs every 3 months, like pretty aggressive. But we've hired.
It's gonna be like Call of Duty, where every 4 or 5 months they release season 2, season 3, season 4, where it's new stuff added.
And what's great is that the Romulan storylines or the Klingon whatever, they'll still exist in the Federation, just with those uniqueisms. So it'll fit into the it'll be a Tal Shiar mission for one, but it'll be Section 31 for Federation. So. But you'll get unique sort of bits for each, and as you go through each, you'll unlock things. So some rooms are super unimportant and get unlocked through play. So as you always say, it's every meeting, the 2S bowling alley should be the first unlock. They've written it down. They have literally a pad of paper with that. So yes, you unlock things, and then while they're not the most functional rooms, you can play mini bowling, kind of like the Wii game.
And it's VR, so it's like the Wii, but better. You can bowl in the TOS Enterprise.
So there's bonus rooms. There's a lot of replay value, because at the end of the day, they want to keep building, and we want to keep seeing it being built, because that's an investment into all of our factor.
But keep in mind, that's Bridge Crew 2. That's still a few years away with new VR systems for PlayStation 5 and stuff. In the meantime, though, Ubisoft will be releasing some DLC bridges for Bridge Crew, the first one, the refit. Voyager, the Enterprise E. So there will be different ones coming, because that's one of the biggest complaints. You only get 3 bridges. We need more. And in the meantime, to tide people over until Bridge Crew 2 can come out with more expansive environments in the ship and stuff, you'll be getting DLC bridges for the first game. So,
but like I say, the caveat is you can't go around the ships in the first one. They're limited by their own. So there is, but again, I don't care. I'm fine with that. And I know we're also adding new particle systems and damage material, so they'll be up-built in the second game, so things fall apart more. You know how the rocks fall out of the ship. There'll be enhanced rock physics.
Insulation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even I think...
Well, that's one...
Yeah, sorry.
That's one thing I wanted to pitch to them now that you said that. To institute repairs to your specific department, you got to leave the bridge, go to the engineering room, like I said. So to repair hull damage, that makes sense. Filling in the insulation foam that just blew out of the wall and patching the wall. That'll be part of the whole repair system. I like that. I'll send them an email tomorrow about that.
Yeah, it wasn't on my thing, but that does sound good. But it's great because, I always visualize the Year of Hell Voyager and the Enterprise destroyed, and those things were never in Bridge Crew 1. So you got to redesign the bridge slightly to have that, but I think that allowed the extra depth. So even though it feels the same bridge, the more you play in the second one, you're like, oh, no, this bridge is definitely more. So, yeah.
Next up is, like I said, we've got permission from Tal'Darim and Interplay to redo the Starfleet Command Remastered Collection. So that's Starfleet Command Volume 1, 2, and 3, and Orion Pirates, and any other supplements that were made over the years. There was a multi-era pack as well that was not official, but that's going to be added here. Everything's going to be remastered visually, so you get all those original games, which is fantastic. I just love those games, and that's super exciting. So there we go. Not much else to say about that. It's going to be a straight-up remaster with, like I said, multi-era packs in them, so you can play any era. So,
well, I know some of the different games, they're not as inclined to make every game every era, because that kind of devalues it a little bit. But I think they want to focus and then do the DLC to kind of, because once everyone's got that initial piece of the pie, then they can all kind of become more similar, because obviously their game mechanics are different to other games. But no, straight remaster. I'm excited. I know Total War just got announced a remaster, which I've already bought. So that's exciting. And fundamentally, I think a lot of us that enjoy those games, the the game mechanics are solid. It's just the window dressing around them. And I also know that they're not going to put that one, because obviously they want to, well, it's next on your list, the Bridge Commander 2, but they want to make that slightly more playable on all platforms. I think they're also doing a PS4 and an Xbox version, so it's like less, I mean, they're still powerful consoles, but it's like less graphically enhanced, because it's a remaster, it's not a remake. So that is meant to be played on like older machines, so everyone who used to play that game can install it and doesn't need much to play. Which I think is great. I actually kind of like that idea. Like, don't aim for AAA when it just needs to be like the brand spanking coat of paint.
Yeah, and eventually we want to remaster a bunch of older games as well, but that's in the future. So these are the ones that are important and are approved right now. So, we got a few super chats. Gonna answer those. Olivia Julius, $5. Hey. I heard Precious is the new VP of couch testing. Yes, she's got a gold-plated doggy bowl too. Squadron Course, $2. Will Bridge Commander 2 have a plasma conduit scrubbing station? Yeah, that's for the people you don't like, that want to join your Bridge Crew session. Be like, we can only have, they're probably going to up it to 5 or 6 people on the bridge.
Come on, Stuart. All of our CBS money, buying CBS money went, lost internet power. But how are you guys doing? You guys having fun? 168 people, still got quite a lot of announcements to go. Are you guys having fun? And yeah, what do you think of my my enhanced camera setup today with the different lights? I mean, it's literally a totally different camera. It's Stuart's watching my webcam, and those that are regulars know my normal camera looks like. Let me know what you think of the camera quality. Please do. Please do. Yes, Secret Vulcan Fury will be mentioned, I'm sure. Call of Duty doesn't charge for DLC more. Interesting. Ooh, getting a bit tired there, guys. Ooh. Well, the CBS Paramount franchises. I haven't necessarily. I don't know which ones. What are the CBS franchises? I know Paramount obviously has a ton of stuff in their catalogue, but we've been a bit focused on the Star Trek stuff. To be fair, power just went out on Stuart's machine or on this entire PC. Fair enough. Yeah, good old gamer. I'll be honest. I haven't really done much for the Section 31 show. It wasn't an active development, so wouldn't actually have to do much because just didn't pursue it any further. Thank you, Raj. This is not a camera I can use normally, but look at that quality. In fact, I should be able to, because this is a very high-res camera. What do you guys think? How does that look? Do you see all the resolution? And yes, full suit. Such important announcements. Oh. And it's such high res, I can probably zoom in all the way to the oh, that is the L cars. Probably zoom in all the way to the back. Where's the thing? Zoom in all the way into the background. Yep. Look at that resolution. Oh. Look at that. Beautiful crisp resolution. I really messed up the framing on that, didn't I? So yeah, a camera I do not get to use very often. I think Stuart's going to call back at any second, so we'll see what he says. Let's see. Oh no, internet's at 1440p. That is not a great resolution, I'll be honest. Worst resolution, actually.
There we go. Sorry, out here, just everything. Weird. The internet, the computer, everything.
Did you say hello, all computer?
Right.
And did that work?
Yes.
Good.
Anyway, as I was saying, yes, we're going to add more bridge stations so like 6 people on the bridge instead of 4. Because it's always hard getting like more people wanting to play and not being able to. But a plasma scrubbing station, that's interesting. I like that.
Well, I'll tell you a funny thing. So Mike, my man, phoned the meeting, and he played Bridge Crew 1. He liked the idea, and he's pitching that he writes some dialogue and actually include NPC, which is pretty rare. I think it's for the second game. NPC characters as you go through a ship, doing those really crappy jobs that Mariner was doing. And so, like, as you walk by a holodeck, or if you go to a holodeck, there's a character in the holodeck cleaning the filters, and he'd write some of that dialogue to kind of give that little Easter egg fun. Which I was like, yes, Mike. Sure, do it. So we'll have some Mike Man comedy roles.
Yeah. All right. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5. Tell me where there will be alien boarding parties that you can phaser or hand-to-hand fight in Bridge Crew 2. Not that I'm aware of. I think that'd be too complex. That's really changing the dynamics of the game and the concept of a Bridge Crew game. So I don't think so.
Hey, no. You buy it, it'll be number 3.
Yes.
You can't do everything in
Sean Corpier, $5. Call of Duty Star Trek. See, yeah, we need another first-person shooter like Elite Force.
Elite Force 3. It's not on our list, to be honest, but that would be an obvious one. That'd be cool.
Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, €2. What about Star Trek: Secret of Vulcan Fury? Well, that's next on the list. That's one of the things we
go for it, Stuart.
We'll get to that. Okay, yeah, I'll get into it right now. It's a good segue. We still got 2 super chats, but I'll get to those in a second. So yes, Secret of Vulcan Fury. I did a really good captain's log on this a few years ago. Fantastic game idea written by DC Fontana, and really exploring the Romulan Vulcan issues. And all the voice cast, all the original voice cast recorded all their lines. Everything is recorded, ready to go. The game got canceled, though, because the company fell through. So we're scooping up all that old footage or all the old audio, and we are creating a new version of Secret of Vulcan Fury, finally going to be released, and there's even going to be a VR element to it as well. There's going to be a VR version and a non-VR version of the game, so you can get that original idea feel or the new advanced version. So yes, absolutely, that is on the list.
Although, to be clear, it's not a VR game, it's you can watch it in VR, so it's not as intricate as the other VR games, because those take a lot of replanning, but it's like, because you've got a VR headset, I mean, we love being in the universe, and so that's really effing cool,
Yeah. So yes, Sebastian. Area 51, $5.
Thank you.
Buy Will Wheaton and have him sit in your office where all he does is get told to shut up, Leslie. That's interesting. That's really not nice, but okay. Corm 75, $5. Could we see a Star Trek NCIS crossover show called NCIS Andoria? Now that Trekyards Sure. Yeah. Headed up by Bakula. That's funny.
We have mentioned that, a crime squad style. Yeah. That'd be kind of fun as an Earth-based show. We never see Earth, kind of like, Earth-based.
Christopher Brown, $5. Impressed that you bought this franchise. I see your dedication to continuity in the universe. I believe in you. I know you'll do us proud and make it so. Thank you very much, Christopher. We hope to make you guys very proud of us, and we're always welcoming your input.
And to be clear, we have a lot of these ideas, and they're all in active development, right? These are not for the sake of it. Some might take longer than others, and some may not end up coming out. Like if Takei doesn't want to do the Sulu series, right? You know what I mean? But these are all in active development now, so hopefully you like some ideas. If you don't, well, if you haven't heard them all, go back, listen. A lot of good ideas here.
Yeah. Well, another super chat, and then we'll get to the next few game ideas real quick. Marked Ashamed puts in $5. If only, hey, since you own the IP, how about revoking the cease and desist order against Stage 9? Yes, Stage 9 will be responsible for helping Ubisoft in actually doing the Bridge Crew stuff, the VR stuff. So,
I mean, obviously they're a bit sour from that. I know
they are very
so sour. I think they're more going to be whoever wants to help. But I don't think they're, as a full team, are going to jump on. I think they're happy doing the Orville stuff, which is great. Good for them. And I think Fox, well, not that they're involved with Fox, but, conflict of interest. But I know some of them would still like to be, because Trek was their big thing, so...
Yeah.
Some. I'm just going to jump for 1 second.
Yeah. And Sean Corpier, $5. Star Trek Academy 2 and Klingons 2. The Star Trek Academy games... those are ones that will probably see a remastering at some point in the future. However, no plans for those right now, but that's a good idea, Sean. We'll see. We'll see about those. But the games are definitely on the list of things that we want done. Like, we'll get to Armada 3 in a minute here. But we have a few more to talk about before that. So a lot of them are continuations or sequels to really good existing Star Trek games as it is. So, and yes, 241 likes. We need 9 more likes to get to 250. Can we do it? I think we can. Hit that like button if you haven't already. 170 of you here. Hopefully you're really enjoying this and you're looking forward to the future. Really excited to be able to be a part of Star Trek and actually make Star Trek better. We are super excited to be in this position, and we need your help, guys. That's what you're here for. We're a great community. Hopefully Trekyards will now hit over 100,000 subscribers. We can probably buy subscribers at this point. I think you can do that, right?
Well, if you promote on Paramount Plus, I mean, it shouldn't be hard. Not that necessarily. It's like, do you really want to put your most cringy episodes on? But we can put a selective 100. I mean, that I guess this was like not necessarily start from the start, but yeah.
252 likes. Thank you guys.
Oh, fantastic!
Awesome.
Fantastic.
All right. So next up on the list is Bridge Commander 2.
Yes.
And that was as far as the idea went until Samuel was like, we need a good character for that. So,
well, yes.
Ezri.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we love the canon, we love putting it all together, and I thought in the first game you had the Odyssey, and we had Picard and Brent Data at the start. Obviously you want to kind of diversify a little bit. This is obviously post. So while you're not on Ezri's ship, she's the famous person in the game. So I don't know. We're not deciding what class of ship. I think we're going to do a new ship, or it's a new variation. But obviously, Bridge Commander is great because you're on a bridge, but you get that ship combat as well, and it's far more interactive than, It's like there is bridge and there's out, whereas Bridge Crew is mostly bridge in, little bit bridge out. Mm-hmm. It's the reverse. So in the same way, and this will be great because it's a much more. It's basically a hybrid between Bridge Crew and Starfleet Command.
Yes.
In its own way.
Yes.
And I prefer Space Combat. I'll be honest, it's more free flow and it's more 3D because there's not 2D. You do. Anyway. Yeah. Bridge Command 2, same game as the first one, just more, bigger. I don't think we're going full eras, but it's post TNG. I think there's going to definitely be a time travel subplot. I know I'm pushing for like a 20-hour game to give you a lot of good story, and throughout the story you unlock ships for skirmish, which I had a lot of fun with originally. So that's kind of how you do. There'll be alternate endings, which is really fun. Nicola DeBoer is signed up to reprise Ezri. It's her first captaincy. I'm not the biggest fan of the Aventine, as you know, so I'm not even going to touch that. But it's her first ship before Aventine, because that's not canon anyway. So it's kind of like on between, or she'll be acting captain, whatever. It'll be fun. It'll be though that mechanic's probably pretty solid. So it's more about the visuals. It's about the refinement. It's about there'll be an advanced mode, kind of like in Bridge Crew, where you get to have all the buttons or no buttons. So there'll be more where you have to do a few more clever things. Where you get to have. Where you actually, like for the photon torpedoes, you actually get to change the yield, because that was never in the first one. So if you want to, there'll be obviously a variety of missions. If you want to disable somebody, you don't want to fire torpedoes at maximum yield. Or if you want to, stop somebody from going to warp mode with torpedoes full spread and do like a bombing pattern around the ship. So be more varied like that. And I'm excited. Bridge One was really good. This will be even better, and a lot more impetus on the travel mechanics. The Kobayashi Maru mod gave that as part of the first game, and so you won't be pulled in and out of the story. Actually, you have to go out warp to different parts of the galaxy as the missions go, and then as we've often joked, you spend a lot of time at warp, and so you can skip warp if you really want to, but you can stay at warp and talk to the crew and have like a Mass Effect style interactive discussion tree, and you can stand up and walk around the bridge, and so you actually get to learn about your characters, and as you learn about them, you can unlock new abilities, because maybe you talk to a tactical officer and learn that they were at a famous battle 5 years ago, and then you learn, I can do that maneuver, because now you know they can do something. And so you actually end up, the game gets easier as you get to know them, and so it kind of creates a really good team vibe. And I know we're trying to cast some really good voice actors to be the voice cast. So that's kind of where I am, and I'm obviously I'm pushing it forward quite fast. That's kind of where I am with that.
Well, I never really got too much into Bridge Commander. I did enjoy it. I did have it, but I didn't get all the mods and stuff for it, so I didn't really get into it too much as far as that goes.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to something new.
I mean, that's the first you've heard about most of those things. What do you think?
I'm super stoked for it, actually. I do like that it's a bridge, though, between Bridge Crew and Starfleet Command, because it's very much a hybrid of the two of them, and that's quite interesting. So will it be in VR, or is it just going to be standard?
I mean,
or the option.
I mean, you can look at it in VR. I mean, just like with everything, because it can be, but I wouldn't say it's like a mechanic.
I think that'll step on Bridge Crew's toes a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, I think we may be able to negotiate using the same bridge assets, but I would push them a little bit higher end, because you don't move around the ships. They can focus more on just the bridges. Like, there's no expectation to go around. Although I did pitch this and they laughed, but in a good way. You know how in Galaxy Quest, what?
Well, they laughed. It's just like, in a good way.
Well, yeah, I said, in Galaxy Quest, they call down to Tech Sergeant Chen Engineering. You get like a static on the view screen. I said, let's do that. They're like, what? Let's a bit of call down to engineering and like see that set. So there's a little bit of engineering, but not like a lot, just a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Fleetpod Swiftback, $2, 252 likes. Head airlock pusher outer pays. Thank you very much, Fleetpod.
Thank you.
Michael David Anthony Fikiti? Sorry,
Michael.
£5. Round up the team behind Vikings and get them to create a series based on Klingon ship.
Ooh.
Maybe in the early Empire as they were expanding. Ooh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, early Klingons. That'd be great.
Wow. Yeah, cool.
Well, we'll put that on the list. We have years of content. So. Next up on the list is something that I wasn't expecting necessarily, but you thought it was a good idea with the Wharf miniseries, and that's the Captain Wharf spin-off game. And we were looking for some voice talent for that. Has that been approved yet, or?
Hold on, let me go Klingon. I had this idea while I was. Right, now I'm Klingon. Although it's a bit pinkier than it should be. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of those classic. Actually, looks kind of bad, doesn't it? No, it's a tie-in game. I mean, let's be frank. It's we're making that mini-series. I thought Michael Dorn did all the Armadas and stuff. Like, he was very into the voice acting and stuff. So I thought, let's make a tie-in game, double promotion. It's a much smaller game, kind of to factor in with the Wharf. There we go, Wharf show. It's going to be fun, though, because it's going to take place before and be a prequel and also help be an epilogue. In a non-spoiler way, although I think we're going to DLC that for like the day after the final episode comes out, which is kind of unusual, but we want to do some sort of modern media promotion stuff, and Michael Dorn's very on board for that. And I can announce, we got him signed on while J.G. Hertzler as Martok. He is, obviously, he was never going to say no, really. We are talking to Robert O'Reilly. He would say yes to anything, pretty much. Obviously,
that's Gowron, guys.
He is dead, very dead, but I think we're going to try and do some flashbacks, because why the hell not? It's Klingon-centric, you kind of need that. And I think we're also going to try and include the still alive Duras sister, and then get a sort of a sound-alike for the other one, kind of something. Because it's a love letter to the Klingon Empire, although I know that Michael's got a lot of into war stuff in his show. This is obviously, like I say, a prequel to that, helps kind of set up, kind of like how Children of Mars failed in Picard. Like, it's a prequel, and it's like, no, it's actually be more appropriate. It's hard to work out exactly what we want, because if you want to step on the toes of, like you said, the bridge commander, bridge crew, whatever. But I think it's going to be more focused on like 2 or 3 hyper detailed sets, and then like focus on that, and a lot of like character dialogue, so it's a more immersive experience rather than like a full-fledged. I think we're going to try and like use the same bridge commander space stuff, like that, like control scheme, because that works quite well. I don't think we're that needing to change it. Just very Klingon-esque.
Demetrius Dominguez, $10.
Oh, thank
now
you.
That you own Star Trek, please let the extras finally talk instead of just wandering around in the background pretending to talk. Got to beam away now. See you in the future. All right, well, see you in the future, Demetrius. Hello, Demetrius from the present. How you doing? That's gonna tie into the what you're gonna talk about in a second. The retconning of Discovery. They're going to have a bigger part in the last half of season 4 for sure, because. Sergeant Montgomery, $2. A eugenics war miniseries, please. Okay, we'll put it on the list. It's going to be interesting. Like a pre-con, well, early con, young con. Maybe. Sean, $5. Flesh out Discovery Bridge Crew. Well, yeah, that's going to be talked about in a second as well. So, Next up on the list, we're still in gaming. We got 2 more gaming announcements, and then a Discovery cleanup, retcon, and then a really, really fun thing for the last thing. So, all right. So, The Adventures of Captain Riker, the VR experience.
Yes, this I kind of worked with in the silent pitch you with already having Frakes on board, so I kind of like pitched you like the full thing. Yeah, I know you're a big fan of VR, and this is kind of similar to the Klingon one, but take it one more step into cinematic. Everyone loved the Riker's appearance in Low Decks, and I want to capitalize on that. It'll be on the Titan. It'll include more Titan sets. I know Mike's designed more for season 2, so we're going to use those out of respect.
So we get to see a realistic Boimler, like the actor that plays Boimler on the ship.
I don't know if we've set a time period yet, but that gotcha. I have. Well, Low Decks is in production, so I haven't seen those scripts yet because we're busy doing new things. And I don't want to step on his toes because Mike's now running Star Trek as well with us as a EP. But no, it's just going to be a very sort of focused VR thing. I think it'll be one of the bridge officers on the Titan. And as a conceit go, you get to then work with Riker directly. Marina's in; she's really excited. Tim Russ is going to be on the Titan. I know we're not going to go full committing to what they've said in the books, but they'll be like a temporary officer, so you get that vibe. Will Wheaton sign up as well, which is kind of, we'll see how that plays. And yeah, it's going to be a really sort of intense. It's basically like a 3-hour game. It's like 2 movies. Although I know, and I pitched this to Frakes, and he agreed once he learned the context of the show. Like our Lump It guys, we're going to do like a 5-minute gameplay moment. We were literally just playing in a jazz concert, and with Riker. Yeah. But again, everyone's gonna like that. It's a segment. It's not as if it's a big part of the game. But I guess call it a mini game. Just like he has recitals. I mean, how many times have musicians wanted to be with Data on the stage in TNG? It's not as if it's a radical phenomenon. But you get to play with Riker and you get to look to the side and look at a fellow real Frakes, and you're playing whatever instrument you can select. And it's great because it's a mini game, isn't it? So if you can pick which instrument out of like 3, and it responds to how you play. Like you're not doing a pre-played thing. And so if you're a musician and kind of like Guitar Hero, you get enough of correct like points with the song, you unlock different conversation trees with Riker because you're a musician. If you suck, he'll make fun of you. They'll unlock other trees, and that I know that sounds absurd, but since he's such a musician. There you go. I just think that's a fun gimmick to kind of like you wouldn't think that musician recital is going to change the dynamic of the game, but actually does. I know you've only heard a little bit of that shit. What do you think? I think it's a fun gimmick.
I think that's interesting. This was one I was looking forward to just because of I think it's going to be 5 episodes as opposed to 3 like the Vader Immortal was. Where it's a very linear storyline. No. You kind of have to do things. You feel like part of the story, but so that's interesting. I'm not a big fan of music per se.
It's a short scene, and you can suck because you can play any song. Like the game, you can play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and if you do it really well, he'll say, "Wow, the music!" And you're like, "I just played Twinkle Twinkle."
And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On to the next thing.
Yes.
Armada 3. We've got Armada 1 and 2, the old ones, which will probably be remastered at some point. But Armada 3, they never got an official one. There was Sins of the Solar Empire, kind of, is one.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be similar to that, I guess. But again, continuing on that Armada legacy. So, bigger game, and Michael Dorn's apparently signed on for that one. So Michael Dorn is very much loving Wharf right now. So
I mean, it's all cross promotion, isn't it? I think he's going to have, he was big in the first 2, and especially in the second one. So he's going to have a couple of missions which will also cross over with the Wharf game and I think there's going to be one battle in the Wharf show, which will be referenced. And then you are in first person in the Wharf game, and then you get to be in the space battle in Armada 3. So it's a lovely little... I mean, he's been waiting for a long time. He's like cross promotion. And I mean, if you can play any of the 3, and it'll be just a cool battle, but it'll be all linked together. And we are trying to get more actors. This one we haven't got the same budget for, I'll be honest. So Patrick isn't up for this one at least yet. Maybe Armada 4, who knows? But I definitely want to try and get some of the DS9 side ones. I mean, O'Brien would be cool as an engineering side plot. Who knows? We haven't obviously made the game yet. But yeah, I mean, it's just Armada 2 made now, much larger ship cap, although it will vary each mission, because obviously some battles need to be intense and smaller, and a lot more customization. So each ship, like as with the old game, as you know, you just send 10 sovereigns, you win. Send the best ship, you're done. So you can do that, but you may still lose. So each ship will have like upgraded phase or torpedo, so you can then make like a lower grade ship stronger than a higher grade ship if you can upgrade it, etc. So there will be a lot more three-dimensionality with that. And it'll be fun. I mean, I always do enjoy those sorts of games. But far more Armada style than Sin style. Well, that was a great thing. We know Max, and he'll certainly be advising because he's done a lot more recently with balancing and stuff. I think we're going to try and, some of his designs might come in. Hey, call out. Yeah.
Like if you haven't, guys, let's get to 275 or 267 right now. So let's do it. Now we're done for games for now. So we got a lot of the game fronts as well.
Some good games.
The game front's going to take a little bit of time for some of them because we got to reestablish these companies. Some of them that have gone under and get the licensing rights. We've got a lot of them lined up and ready to go. So, but stay tuned. We're always accepting ideas for games. There's a lot of great game potential. So next thing is season 3. Season 4 of Discovery gets retconned. Well, Discovery as a Discovery verse gets retconned, as it's really just a dream sequence.
Yeah, this one you came to the pitch meeting pretty hard with, I'll be honest. So I'll let you go into it more.
Well, honestly, not a lot of people were happy with Discovery at all. Even us, once it got to season 3, it got a lot better, it improved, and it seemed kind of ridiculous a little bit. So my thinking was, since they're already in production for season 4, kind of we're getting our hand. We should maybe just wait till season 5. Getting involved midstream is always problematic. But basically, what's going to happen is, yes, the first half of season 4, she's going to be captain of the Discovery. We're going to see, Saru come back and things like that. I don't want to give too much away of the storyline, obviously, because I want it to be a bit of a surprise, but. Basically, Michael Burnham is only a cadet, and she's a cadet in the post-Nemesis era. She wakes up after falling asleep in the library doing research, drooling on herself, to realize that everything has been a dream. She's been studying ambassadorial stuff. She was following the careers of Spock. Obviously, got in
Sarek?
Sarek, early Federation stuff. So what's his name? God damn it. Pike. Captain Pike stuff. And basically she fell asleep, had a dream, and that was the Discovery verse. But she's going to pull her back into the Prime timeline, where essentially she is post-Nemesis. That's why the design of the Discovery was so odd to begin with, because there's a new experimental ship that she has been researching as well, which uses the mycelial network, but it's actually, it looks more advanced, so that everything kind of makes sense visually.
Well, it's a dream, isn't it? So she's pulled in elements from her real life, and that's why while it might seem like an odd retcon, it's great because it allows you to kind of actually bring in elements like the Klingons. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the Klingons in Discovery are a real sect in the Klingon Empire. I mean, it's a weird retcon, but like, we're not here to disrespect the universe per se. So she pulled this quite vicious sect that abandoned Kronos. I think it was, like 5,000 years ago, I think is currently in the new script. And they went to do their own thing. They lost the ability to grow hair. They got more feral. They're more aggressive. And so there'll be a faction in some of the different shows. Not a huge faction because, but, again, if we're trying to relink everything in so it makes sense. And then even if you watch season 1 Discovery, as many people do, you can say, oh yeah, but don't worry, it makes sense in season 4. They exist here and here. And it helps sort of bring it all back in line.
We're doing what Kurtzman said he would do at the end of season 1, where everything falls in, at least visually. We're doing it post-Nemesis. She was never a sister of Spock. Spock never had a sister, adopted sister otherwise. It's all just part of her, because it was fresh on her mind. I know some people might get the vibe that it's a holodeck thing, like with the season finale of Enterprise. It's not really. We're going to incorporate a little bit more, because they've been saying it's Prime all along. We kind of want to keep to their original vision a little bit and pull it into Prime in the best way we can see to do it. And we have half a season. of season 4 to have in the post Nemesis era to make it all make sense. So it'll be fine.
It's kind of fun because obviously in post TNG you've got the Vulcan Romulan situation with them trying to reunify. So it actually links directly into that, where she's part of she's with the Vulcan ambassadors. So she's actually going to be directly in the plot of, I guess it's a prequel to Picard in essence as well. What's kind of fun that we're going to do, because we do like the cast, we're actually going to make that, like I said, you're going to see elements from the show, even like the future ships, even the what's her name, the Orion lady that got killed. She's in, like, she's a person that she knows in the real world. And so we're actually going to see Tilly as someone, Stamets. They're not their characters. They're not even they're not even the way they're acting. They're different. I think they can have some like personality similarities because she's already pulling from that. But we're going to see Stamets as being someone else.
Well, Tilly's going to be the captain of one of the ships that she's, that she knows. That's why the whole time Tilly was like, I'm going to be a captain. I'm going to be a captain in this dream. Stamets is going to be her teacher, who's actually teaching the new drive technology that she's, we haven't worked out all the details.
Well, she's a cadet, so she has classes. I mean, one of her teachers. Yes. Same with the Sarek
Lork is
actor.
going to be alive. Lork is going to be around.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I mean, that's a nice thing. All the people that mentored her, the Sarek actor, the Lorca actor, Stamets, Pike, they're all going to be lecturers in the academy. Now, yes, that'll only be the second half of season 4, but it'll let us, because, like I say, imagine all those people in one room.
Yeah.
Or for, like, I don't know what, like, some sort of, you imagine a Harry Potter, like, the president of the academy, and then they got the, table of professors, like that sort of vibe. And so, and what's great is that, how often you wake up from a dream not knowing if it's real. We are going to play with that a little bit, and this will be that double twist, that she's actually going to actively think for the first 3 episodes of that second half that this is a dream, that this is fake. So that's going to cause a lot of tension, because she's saying, like, Tilly, and this woman who's not called Tilly is like, cadet, and it's going to be very odd. And everyone's going to think, because obviously this is a TV show, that it's fake, but actually it's not. It's the reality, but you kind of play with those dynamics. But obviously, as Sonequa's character, the new one, obviously wakes up more and more over the course of the episodes, she forgets more and more, and then ends up realizing, oh yeah, I think it's like as a mum comes, her alive mum, by the same actress, and it's like, that's actually a heart-wrenching scene, I believe, they've written. Because it's like, yeah, mum, A, you're not dead, B, you're not in the future, C, you didn't leave me when I was 16 or 10. And then if we do a season 5, but I think we're moving towards just bringing those actors into other shows. But yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, it's a radical idea, but I think it's a good way of doing it.
And Lee B says, I don't want, it was all a dream. I would directly associate these vile shows with Star Trek. They need to be completely ignored and any trace of them purged. No, because they all have their fan base, and we want to be respectful to all Star Trek fan bases. So the JJ stuff is not going to be decanonized. None of that shit's going to be done. Like, those have their own audiences. They brought people to Trek, so they can have them. But we're fixing some things. So that's
besides, the dream, rather than decanonizing, lets you play with those things. I know you guys didn't necessarily like my idea of having the Klingons be still in there, but it kind of helps to ground it all. Like I said, it's a fever dream, isn't it? She's taking these real life, I mean, in the context of the show, real life concepts and kind of morphing them. Because obviously she's stressful about her mission. She's pushing these things further. She knows that Klingon sector is a threat, etc. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I mean, I know the actors aren't necessarily thrilled, but as you can imagine. But the fact they're playing different characters, I mean, as an actor, you want to play different characters. And as the bridge crew, I have talked to the bridge crew on Zoom, just the bridge crew, and they were quite pleased. I promised them personally.
Bryce and Reese, yes, they're going to be the most important people in the last half.
Well, no, not that far. That might be. No, I promised them they're going to get 10 times as many lines as they have in the entire franchise in their first 2-parter. Not a hard thing to achieve, let's be fair, but they're going to play a real role, so they are actually quite happy.
Words each.
Yeah.
Okay, so Discovery, that's taken care of. Now, the last thing, the big last thing is the Star Wars acquisition, but that's in 2 years, so it is what it is. But we're going to end on the really fun thing. And this is basically Star Trek The Experience Phase 2. which then becomes a movie, and then Next Generation. No, just kidding. It's going to be Star Trek: The Experience Phase 2. Now, this is going to happen in Vegas, of course, as per the other one, and it's going to be expanded though quite a bit. There's going to be a themed hotel. Yeah. There's going to be lots of really cool. It's going to be immersive. It's going to be like Galaxy's Edge, but better because there's no other park attached to it. It's all going to be Star Trek.
Also, not as gimmicky because you can just live in the universe. You know, as soon as you put Enterprise D corridor, you're immersed. You know. Yeah.
And you're going to be able to stay in different eras. As far as there's going to be specific packages you can get, TOS or otherwise, if for your experience. Like a bank of 5 elevators per se. This is the hotel.
Yeah.
First floor or the first main level, the lobby is the lobby. Whatever. It's like Star Trek Online. That's a Starbase. There's people of all eras there. But then you go to the TOS elevator. Yeah.
Like a convention vibe.
Episode. Floor number 2 is TOS. Floor number 5 or 6 is TOS, and so on and so forth.
Every 3
floors. If you go down the TOS
yeah.
elevator, it only stops at the
No,
TOS
Stuart.
floor.
TOS turbolift. They are looking like turbolifts.
Turbolift, yes. Yeah. You get the experience and everything. And same with, there'll be movie era, TNG era, Nemesis era, and so on and so forth. And it'll be a stacked hotel experience. So,
but that's and I love how the theme park I suggested and you like the hotel more. I always find that funny when I pitched this to you a while ago. I've been to Vegas. I mean, I've been to the experience. I'd seen it.
I did get a chance, unfortunately.
Yeah. But no, the hotel sounds great because it is very much a live it. Understandably, that's not a lot of rooms. 3 floors, I think it's like 25, 30 rooms. Not a lot. I mean, you know, I don't. Well, it varies. TOS has less space. TNG has more space, obviously. But I do know that when you buy one room, you can actually pre-order another era because they want repeat custom, and that so you get a discount. Yeah. But it's definitely first come first serve, and I'm sure there'll be a waiting list. But what's kind of fun is that they'll obviously encourage you to wear uniforms, and that's where we get into the actual the experience too, because that'll be right there with uniforms. And yeah, I mean, it's just such a fun idea. But you've also missed that there's one floor, because we did talk about this. The 76th floor, which is only on the 30th floor.
Well, it depends. We don't know how big the building's going to be yet. We'll see.
Well, yeah, you're right. The 76th floor is not the real 76th floor. That's an in-joke to Star Trek V, where it's way too many. And so the extra floor is the 76th floor. And that floor is great. That's the continuity breaking floor. You get a bit of everything. You get, you know, convoluted stuff. You get weird things. It's the room where if you go up there, you'll see a Klingon room. You'll see a Romulan room. You'll see a Borg room, as weird as that is. You know, it's a really fun, like, random, but that's kind of cool. Special, like, it's only one floor, so it's very much, like, special. But that's, like, the Easter egg room, or the Easter egg floor. More expensive, as you can imagine, because there's a lot of money to set this stuff up. But, I mean, hey, it's a weird, fun floor.
Yeah. Got a few super chats that we kind of missed. I'll get those real quick.
Please do.
Squadron Course, $2. What about a Star Trek Convergence film trilogy?
I mean, hey, I'll give myself 50,000 to make that. Sure. Sold. I can ensure I can turn 130 minutes into 3.
You can do it. Fear Girl 011, $5 Australian. Come on, I want Andorian ships everywhere and a few Tellarites. Samuel, any battle modeling using those ships? I mean, he could probably do a battle using Andorian and Tellarite ships. Sure.
I have once. I've done From 1 and More. They've fought, or at least they've been in a fight. I wouldn't say they actually fought each other because they're, you know, friends in that show. But yeah, sure.
And Sean puts in $5. The Promenade. Yes, so it'll be Promenade. There'll be Quark's thing. Should we do a? That's one thing that wasn't really discussed. Should we do a Discovery Turbo Lift area, which is just like a huge stadium? Here, get in the Turbo Lift to go to your Discovery experience, and just you stand in this big stadium. Like,
no. I mean, no. I think the joke there is that it's a real elevator. But all the walls are LED displays, and so as it moves, it's actually just motors. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It's just on the ground. and the motors make it feel as if you're doing motion, and you watch the ride, and so you say, take me to deck, whatever, and then it goes, and it's like you tell it how much you want to go, so you can do like a 1 minute ride, 2 minute, a 5 minute ride through the roller coasters, and then you end up, and at the end the computer voice says, we're sorry, we can't take you to a destination, you end up back at the lobby because you haven't gone anywhere. So that's kind of like one of the joke elevators. You experience the roller coaster, but without actually having to build a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's the cheap way of doing it, Stu. I'm sorry, we had to save money somewhere.
I know. Well, we made the joke too about having the JJ Motel across the street from the hotel because the JJ Verse is its own thing. But then I thought motel is too small. That should be a huge stadium. Like everything's supersized in the JJ Verse. So,
but all you get is one bed and one bathroom because it's maybe big.
And lots of lights.
Yes, lots of lights, but it's vapid. It's not full of depth.
Yes.
Fee
pass for $5. Boardroom, an assimilation chamber, a chamber of horrors that only gets rented on Halloween, now featuring lifelike assimilation. Yeah, you get poked and prodded.
Ouch.
You get to choose whichever horrible appendage you want removed.
For the extra price, they actually remove your appendage. Goodness.
You'll have two numbers, the same in the turbo lift shaft, 75 twice.
That's a good idea.
You'll have like 5 decks, all 75th floor. Yeah.
But guys, how many of you actually did go to the Star Trek experience? Let us know, because that's I always want to talk about that bit in the hotel, but I'm glad you sort of took us there first. So in the original experience, you had the Borg encounter, and you had the Enterprise D, the Klingon encounter, and for one, you got to be on the Copernicus station and a shuttle, excellent, and then the other was the Enterprise D, bridge, shuttle, and corridor, and a shuttle bay, and transport room, which is great. That obviously happened. We love it. For the experience 2, we're going to do a Voyager bridge. That'd be kind of a big bridge. Wrath of Khan bridge, which is going to be fun. Obviously, that's a little bit cheaper because it's a simpler bridge. And then the third ride, because we can't afford too much. The third one's going to be kind of fun and kind of like one of those Galaxy Edge rides where you actually start on like a little shuttle bay. You get into a shuttle, a Type 6 from TNG. Probably modified so it fits on people, but Type 6. You do this great thing in the window and it moves and really, really visceral. And then you land on a planet, and as you leave, the part where the doors connect obviously shifts, and now suddenly you're on an LED screen planet, and you feel like you're on an alien planet with trees and stuff, and it's cleverly built. And now you've gone back in time into the TOS era, and then you get to meet TOS people, and you go into a TOS shuttle, and then a similar second half of the adventure, and then you leave that. So Voyager experience, Wrath of Khan experience, and shuttle experience. So very, very different rides, but exciting. And part of that is we encourage a year pass, what was it called? Annual pass?
Yeah.
Normally? Yeah. And part of that, you actually get a costume, because obviously they sell high-end costumes at the event.
Yes.
So you get a high-end costume because we encourage you to wear a full costume for these things. Because why the hell not? I mean, you can do it multiple times, sure, but if you get the costume as part of the year package and just from buying it at the gift shop, you can then wear that at the hotel. So it's all kind of the same thing. And these are like really nice replicas. And if you get do get either the 6-month or the year plan, because that will make the uniform. I mean, these are like $500 Wrath of Khan costumes, $500 TOS. Like these are meant to last you 25 years or more.
Yes.
So if you buy a plan, they basically turn out to be very, very little. Because obviously the rides once built they're there. So we're happy to make that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll ride them a few times. I'll film on them. That's exciting. I don't think we're gonna let them be used by fan films, or I can see us doing like a month that work out the least busy month and say we'll have maybe one of the competition winners for fan film awards could get to film the Voyager Bridge, which obviously you imagine the potential there. Yeah.
Oh man, Sean Corpier, $5. A med bay with Robert Picardo lookalikes. Don't know who Robert Ricardo is. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. That's the wrong Ricardo. Okay. Fleet Paw Swiftback, $2. Hit 100 or 280 likes. Can we hit 300? Well, we're at 285. We need 15 more likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. This has been a fun one. So much potential and fun excitement stuff coming out.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you guys have seen our really fun plans because they're fun. They're both. We know what you guys want, but also we think these sorts of things are going to really grab people's attention and hit different demographics of the audience. I think that's important.
Squadron Course $2. Commander Riker's VR Alien Dating Simulator. Yes, that'll be part of the where is it here? The Adventures of Captain Riker VR experience. You'll have a different lady every night.
You will. I mean, he's married, but
yes.
Yeah, the first person perspective character.
Yes, absolutely. And where is it here? Good Old Gamer says, I wonder if you'll make any Trekyards originals canon. Absolutely. That's something that we really wanted to incorporate because we love the Trekyards originals. We worked hard on those as far as creating histories, and so if we can tie them in, absolutely, we will be doing that. So. And
to be fair, like, I'm not going to make the Torkan Damada or the Terrorbird like the hero ship of a show, but certainly, starting on lower decks is easier, and then, obviously, the Captain Sulu, perfect for the Terrorbird. Boom, instantly. There's definitely ways of doing things. Obviously, tweak them slightly, but I mean, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to probably call it there. We do have other plans for, like, a Trekyards museum and stuff.
I mean, guys, 11 more likes and 30 more bucks, and we'll do museum as the last thing, so let's just jump on that. 11 more likes, 30 more bucks. Please help us out. I'll mention it then. It's something that we have in the back of our brains for maybe a few years from now, but the Trekyards Museum, where we have replicas of all the miniature ships, all the props. You get to see everything as far as how representations of the filming miniatures and things. They're not going to be real ones. There may be one or two real ones mixed in, if we can get a hold of them, but they're going to be exact replicas of them. So you can have different dedicated rooms for all the shuttle miniatures, all the hero ship miniatures, and you get to go check those out and see them in close-up detail. So not the originals, but exactly the same as the originals. Does that make sense? Because I know the gut obviously is you say museum and you want the originals, but there's only so many originals, and they're all degrading over time. Some of them are 30, 40,
and they're
50.
in private collections as well. So.
Yeah, and I mean, but So yeah, my pitch was definitely replicas, because then once you cross that line of replicas, you can make it so that you can have every single tricorder ever designed. For every iteration, even concept, like a concept art wall with them then built. Obviously, you can get Rick back, get Doug, John, help make full versions of the concepts, etc. And then you can walk through the hall of the corridor of tricorder and you see them all, and probably like have a Word version you can touch as well, because it's replicas. You have two, the pristine and the hero and the not. And it's amazing because I personally don't really mind if they're not screen used, because a lot of the time the screen is actually worse than a hero one would be. It's just like, wow, the screen is hypersprayed, the wood version that looks crap, or the hero version is different. So make proper hero versions of everything. And like you said, life-size shuttles, even the ones I didn't make in the show. This is obviously 4 or 5 years in. Make a Type 11, might make a Type 9, make a Type 6. And because most of them exist as real inside and outside, I love the fact that, I mean, how much would you pay, as a little package to walk into a Type 6 and kind of not go vroom, but kind of be there? Because I know we're going to put like Starfield in. It's a separate zone, so the outer wall that you'll be looking at through the window of all the shells will be a star wall. So as soon as you walk in, you're there.
Well, and one of the things too that we've kind of talked about before, which we could incorporate into this, is a replica of every one of the bridges, and you get to go from one bridge to another via like a corridor that has like a holodeck grid around it, so it looks like you're changing the holodeck program into the next bridge.
Which you do actually have to do. Like, you have to physically call that out. Until you call that out in each individual antechamber, you can't actually move, because you want to feel full on. There's a manual way of doing it as well. You can't just go to and click buttons and just unlock the door. But that's like because that's going to be millions, and we don't even know if the experience is an easy one. And we'll get the same team who's built that bridge to come back, etc. But that's definitely our big plan. We're not sure what part of the country for that. We'll probably won't do that in Vegas. Be more central, where the land's cheaper, make it more easy to get to. That's definitely like our 10-year plan, because we think that would be like a real mecca. Yeah.
2 more likes, guys, to get to 300 likes would be awesome. Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $5. Are we buying the Enterprise from the Smithsonian? That would go great in the museum.
Ooh.
No, I think that should stay in the Smithsonian.
Real museum.
That's part of history. That is it is part of Star Trek history, but it's also part of history. So it should be in the Smithsonian. So
I mean, that's the thing. Every film miniature will be built from scratch for this. Like, even to the point of having a Cage Enterprise, a TOS Enterprise, you know. I don't know if we're building all 3 E's. That seems a little bit excessive, but, you know, we'll do something. And that's good. That's good, you know. I want to see miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's it. We got our 300 likes. We've kind of give you our
groundbreaking news.
Groundbreaking news and our plans for the next little while. So
we will still do lives, though. We're not that busy. As you said earlier, we are going to get assistants to help us do that, because we still want to connect with you guys, because you guys are what made us here, who we are here. So you'll probably still see us doing lives for a couple of years more until we get too busy, but we'll see. Depends how that goes. And I certainly still want to review the new shows. I mean, even though we're helping to build them, I'm not necessarily going to read all the scripts, so I'm still going to enjoy seeing them and reviewing them. I just can have more actual influence on them, which is kind of fun.
And super bats are, but really, why do you need us to give you money? You work for CVS, the big money.
Oh, isn't CVS a clothing company?
CVS is like a pharmaceutical company in the States. I think you mean CBS. How do you think we could afford it? Your super chats over the years sponsoring the show has really helped us out, and now we've got the franchise, and we can fix it and make it what people want to see. So
think of it as the opposite. We are now broke as hell, but we're invested. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna call it there. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Are we doing one on the weekend? Oh yeah, we're probably doing our season 5 lead up, where we get to
the booze and drink.
Yeah, we get to tell you what the episode titles are, our memory of them, and it's just fun. It's a fun discussion. So that'll be on the weekend sometime.
Probably on Saturday, but we'll see. Yeah. And it won't be as early as the other ones. It won't be as long a live, but it's slightly more focused. Probably 3 hours, so probably an hour early, I think we said. And then
an hour earlier than normal time. So
see how that vibes. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. Hope you like the new camera. Well, for at least this version. And I'll take this damn suit off, because I've been in it for 11 hours. And that's just since I was in America. I think I put it on 20 hours ago.
That must stink, man.
Hey! No. The jet was nice. There was a nice smelling jet. I mean, it's fine. But I'm looking forward to having a shower and eating some food, Stuart. So I'm going to go eat some food. And I hope I'm not too jet lagged for Saturday, because I don't want to be jet lagged for our filming or for our live.
And on that note, so sarcastic Vulcan salute. You've just been served your daily dose of bullshit. April Fools, everybody.
But not really. Bye, guys.